Go.
Hinei matov manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hinei matov manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hinei matov manayim sheberachim Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Shabbat, the Temple Bethel, Israel. Feel free to join in. Feel free to sing to your heart's content. Feel free to join with us as we journey to find spirituality in God. Hine matov manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matov manayim sheberachim gam yachad. Hine matov, hine matov, la 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 la. Hine matov, hine matov, la 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 la. Hine matov manayim sheberachim gam yachad. 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 How good and how pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. It was a wonderful opening to Shabbat. And now, our tradition, certainly the Reform movement created this tradition once automobiles and late working on Fridays became part of our lives, so that people could share in the blessing of Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat, to kindle the lights of Shabbat, even if they were in a rush to get to the synagogue for Friday night services. And so if you have candles at home, now is the time to light them, and when you light them, you will have to, according to our tradition, recite two words, Shamor and Zachor. Shamor means to guard, as in the first set of 10 Commandments it says, Shamor et Yom HaShabbat, Ba'ikad Shehu, guard the Shabbat to make it holy. But in Deuteronomy, the second set says, Zachor et HaShabbat, remember. And so the rabbis say, if you guard the Shabbat, you will remember it. And if you remember it, you will guard it. Now, take your matches, light your candles, and repeat those words. Shamor, Zachor. You'll see them again in just a moment when we get to the Lecha Dodi. Look at the first line of the first verse. Light the candles now and repeat. Baruch atah Adonai. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Remember I told you about those two words. Look at the first line. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu elam yuchad, Adonai echad, U'shmo echad, L'shenu tiferet l'tfilah. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, Ki hi mekor ha'beracha, Me'rosh mikedem nisucha. Sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. Nice and slow. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Idorari, Kiva Oref Meori, Uri Shir Daberi, Kivod Adonai Alai Tigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. And at this point, we usually send some of the youngest of our congregation to open the doors to allow the Shabbat bride to enter. Oi v'shalom ateret bala, Gam b'simcha u'b'tzola, Tochenei am sigula. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Bnei Shabbat nikabela. Enter in peace, O crown of your husband. Enter in gladness, enter in joy. Come to the people that keeps its faith. Enter, O bride. Enter, O bride. And with that, the Jewish people wed themselves to Shabbat for the weekend. Enjoy. gladness. We're now ready to enter into the main body of the service, and so we divide it by using the Chatzi Kaddish. Yekada v'yekadash me'rava v'amati v'rati v'tegiam nechmachutei v'chayeichon u'vyomechon v'chayei l'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'emeru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ulam Le'amaya Yitbarach Yitbarach V'yishtabach Yitbahar Yitramam V'yitrazeh V'yitadar V'yitaleh V'yitalal Shmei B'kudeshah B'richu Le'elam Kovit Tata Yishirata Tush B'chata B'echemata Damiran Be'alma B'meru Amen. This is a call and response. Feel free to sing out. Baruch Hu, repeat. Baruch Hu, et Adonai. Baruch Adonai HaMivorach Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv arabim, b'chachma poteach she'arim, ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמרותיהם, ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבים. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Aleinu tzidkah shomecha. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamideinu shomereinu l'chaim. Hashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'hamideinu Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, asot et ha-Shabbat, לדורותם ברית עולם. v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And now we come to Hatfilah, the central core benedictions and prayers of our service. Adonai sifatai tiftach, ubi yagiti ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor HaNorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Todim, V'konei HaKol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot, U'mevi Geula Libnei V'neihem, L'ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Be'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atah Rab Le'Hoshia, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayei HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Zomech Noflim B'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Apar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umidol Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, B'ne'eman Atah L'Chayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Atah Kadosh V'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim B'chol Yom Hallelujah Selah. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. We continue in silence. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amecha Tasim Leolam. Ki atah Melech Adon, Shalom, Ki atah Melech Adon, V'kol Shalom, Shalom Yisrael Amecha And now, as we do at every service, we spend a moment considering those in need of healing, be it physical, spiritual, or emotional. That actually, in some ways, includes many and most of us. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may that be God's will. Now we spend, as has become our new tradition, just a moment in reflection on this week's Torah portion. We start a new book of the Torah, Bamidbar. Bamidbar means in the desert. And the question is, what are we doing in the desert all that time? We've left Egypt. God has held us high. We have defeated Pharaoh and his minions. We have crossed the Sea of Reeds. We have gotten the Ten Commandments at Sinai. We have made our connection to God and our commitment to God and God to us. So, what took so long? Well, it was the original GPS. I know what you're thinking. The original GPS, God's positioning system. God wasn't in a rush. for us to get to the promised land. Number of reasons given all the way back to rabbis from the Middle Ages defining all sorts of thoughts. But in all the reflecting and all the reading, here's what I came up with as a compendium of different thoughts. One, we wanted to replace a generation. We needed people who had never tasted the yoke of the taskmaster or the taskmaster's whip. We needed people who never knew anything but freedom. That would take a generation. Well, what else? We wanted to eliminate the concept, even the immediate concept of slavery. We wanted those entering the promised land to know community. They had to build a community for themselves. They had to build a people while they were there. They had to build a form of governance. Now, it's not the same as electing a mayor, but they had to learn how to make decisions. The Ohel Moed, the tent of meeting just outside the Eruv, the border of their encampment, was where decisions were made. Moses and the elders would sit, and they would speak, and they would talk, and they would communicate, as opposed to just being told what was going to be. They had to make choices, and they had to define that it was okay to live with those choices, even if it wasn't a choice that they necessarily liked, but that the good of the community came first. And so God wanted us to build community, but a community of free people. There's another reason given, that if people left Egypt when they were in their 20s, or 25, 30s, early 30s, by the time they would get there, they'd be fairly old, and they would not be the people who could fight for their rightful land. And so Moses led the people on a pretzel journey. Eventually it was going to get to the end and straighten out, but all the way through it was just twisted, so that they could develop into a community, to a people. Not so different from us. Not so different from our challenges right now. And so they took a census, Bamidbar, in the desert, the English translation is numbers. Well, what are the numbers? God tells Moses, I want a cheshbon, an accounting, a census of every Israelite. And so, it is true that they did not count the women, but they counted those who could fight, ultimately, and make an army that would bring us into the land that was promised to us, and that would give us the end of God's blessings, to the extent that when I say the end, I mean that was the end goal, was God was going to give us a land that I will show you, and you shall be a blessing. And in fact, God did God's job and did exactly what was said. Now the job is ours. We need to become community. We need to become a united group of people where what's good for the most is good for all, where we work together even if things aren't perfect or exactly what we want. The needs of the community supersede the needs of the individual. I hope that going forward through the book of Numbers, and as we then go through Deuteronomy and lead ourselves into uncharted territory in some ways, and the high holy days that on some level are going to be different, that we stand together, that we stand united in strength and in determination, that if we see that we are Bamidbar in the desert now, wandering, trying to make a directed route to our future, that we can do it together, that we can bind ourselves together, and that what is good for the community is also good for me and for you. Again, Ken Yehi, may this be God's will, but even more importantly, may it be ours. May we make this a reality. Shabbat Shalom. And now we continue our service with the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon l'hakol, l'teikinu l'liotzer b'reishit, shelo asanu kegoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu gorim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabunot Shemayim v'yoset haaretz, V'moshad yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, U'shchinatu zo, V'godei miromim, Hu Eloheinu ein od, Emet malkeinu efes ulato, Kakatuf b'torato, B'yadatayom, Elevavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, V'shamayim mima'al, Ve'aretz mitachat ein od, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol haaretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, U'shemo echad. We now spend a moment Amen. Amen. May God bless His house with love. Amen. Amen. May God bless His house. Amen. Bless our lives, our children and our families. Bless all those who have lost their way. Bring peace to all who seek the world of beauty. Give blessings, God, to all these today. Amen. Amen. May God bless His house with love. Amen. Amen. May God bless His house. May God bless His house. May God bless His house. Amen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. And, as usual, Shabbat magic. Voila! Challah. When we are all back, I will explain to you the connection between Jews and magic. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. May we go forward on this Shabbat in the desert together, bonding together more and more as mishpacha, as family, and kehillah, as community, as we will get through this together. And it will be a blessed day and a stronger Temple Bethel Israel community. I look forward to that day. Shabbat Shalom.